Morning, Bill. Yeah, I'm Sam Gold. I'm the executive director here. Oh, I am having trouble hearing you. Can you hear us? Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you better now. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start promoting people.
Michelle, the canvas with Main Street.
Okay. Yep. Oh, I see. So Bill and Michelle, I assume you both have presentations?
Say that again?
You both have presentations, correct?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'm gonna make you a co-host so you can share your screen.
Okay.
Hi, this is Michelle McCabe. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Do you have a PowerPoint as well?
No, I do not. I just have a very, very brief update to share. I apologize. I am about to step into a conference in just a little while,
Okay.
so I have to join by phone. So I apologize.
Not a problem. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're actually first after introductions.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sam, I have a 5-minute video as well. So when we do screen share, I should be able to access it from the presentation material I'm going to put up.
Yes, you should be able to stream that video to the meeting. That should not be a problem.
I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
that.
just, okay, fine, good.
I don't know what they are. And we promote them. Okay.
That's good.
I may have a couple of my business associates joining us too.
Um, Good morning, Tony. And for the people who are attendees, for Todd Gelston and Tony Kuola, I'm promoting you to a panelist so you can participate.
Morning, Sam.
Good morning. Having people trickle in.
How many do we have, Sam?
Right now we only have, I think, 4. We need 5 more. But Vicky, what was our? We have a couple
We
minutes.
have 9 and with John, that makes 10
Okay.
for those who have responded.
Okay. All right. We
Mr.
had 10.
Corbett, nice to see you again.
Did you get the paperwork on your desk? I mean, sure. Okay.
Maro, did you put your link out for your
I did. I sent it to Andrew this morning.
thank you.
But Lee Hoffman, I don't know him, but I'll promote him. Lori.
That phone call, I think, is Carol.
Yeah.
I recognize that number.
We have people coming in. Good. Carol, I guess that's you on the phone, Carol, right?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we're still waiting for more members to join us. But it's only just 9, so we can wait a couple minutes. Good morning, Darlene. Oh, here's Cindy. Look, Cindy to panelist. Oh, we have Michael Pelton. All right, let's see what we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, All right, we're still waiting for a couple more.
This might be.
Oh, we just got a few more.
Okay.
How many counselors do you have?
It just froze on our end. Yeah. It's good you're logged in because it,
6, 7.
okay, we have 7. We're still waiting for 2 more.
8.
And oh, 8. Okay. And I don't know if you can hear us.
Nod if you can, huh?
All right.
We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, our computer has frozen.
We can
if-
see you too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Our computer is unfrozen. All right. So we have
Or
1,
maybe we got one more.
2, 3.
Oh, there's 3 attendants. Let me check.
Yeah.
Carpal tunnel, there we go.
All right.
That's right. That's your not me.
Okay. Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 9:02. And Sam, would you please call the roll?
Sure. All right. I'll start with the members. Chester, Cindy Lignar.
Good morning.
Good morning. Clinton, Michelle Bienvenia. I don't see Michelle. All right. Anthony Cromwell, Anthony Salvatore.
Here.
It's here. Deep River, Carol Jones. So you're good. I don't see Carol. All right. Durham, Brendan Ray.
Here.
Good morning. East Haddam, Todd Gelston.
Good morning.
East Hampton, David Cox.
I'm here.
Welcome. Essex, Norm Needleman or Carrie Duquesne. We have Essex.
Yes, Carrie's here. Good morning.
Oh, hey, Carrie. Good morning. All right. Haddam, Sean Donlan. Is Sean with us? I don't see Sean.
He's expecting.
But he is expected. Okay. Killingworth, Eric Couture.
Oh,
Good morning. Lyme, Christy Zellick.
I see her.
I saw her.
She's on the phone.
Oh, she's on the phone. Okay, she's here. Middlefield, Bobby Martino. I don't see him. All right. Middletown, Gino Sarah. Don't see the mayor. All right. Old Lyme, Martha Shoemaker.
I'm here.
She is here. Old Saybrook, Carl Fortuna.
I'm here.
Good morning. Portland, Michael Pelton.
Morning, everyone.
Morning. And Westbrook, John Hall.
Good morning.
And then for the MPO, we have Darlene Briggs from Middlesex Chamber.
Good morning.
Good morning. And then we have from ETD, Joe Comerford, and which I don't see yet, but I do see Lori McElwee, our regional mobility manager. So hi, Lori. And
Joe's
then
there.
oh, and Joe Comerford is there. Yeah, so we have Joe and Lori. And from Connecticut DOT, we have Ricky Milner. Good morning.
Good morning.
I do not see Jennifer Brady from Federal Highway. So I am going to recognize some of our guests that we have. We have Bill Corvo from Smart Technology Systems. Bill, if you could introduce whoever, any of your other team members who are joining us this morning.
Yes, I have Attorney Lee Hoffman is with us.
Okay.
He's the lawyer for Smart Technology, and Tony Criscuola and Rick Audette, both with ONG on the energy team, should be online too as well.
And thank you. I recognize that we have Michelle from Clinton and Carol from Deep River. They just joined.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's see, other guests that we have in attendance. We have Michelle McCabe from the Connecticut Main Street Center. We also, let's do. So look at a second.
And Ellen.
We have Aaron McBride from Murphy's office. We have Ellen Graham from Senator Blumenthal's office. We have Anna Savastano. Where is she from? Where?
Good morning. I'm with Eversource.
Oh, Eversource. Oh, welcome. We also recognize Sean Donlan from Haddam has joined us. We have Carol Conklin, our regional election advisor. And I'll just introduce staff quickly. I'm Sam Gold. I'm joined online by Sally Rothenhouse, Robert Harriman, Brendan Garrity, Susie Beckman, Megan Juflis. Let's see, anyone else on?
Eliza?
Eliza Lopresti. Anyone else online from our team? Oh, Margot Burns. And then in here in the conference room here at RiverCOG, we have Vicki Harris, Janice Erlenmeyer, and Carly Curla. Yes, I always get caught up with the Curla. Right? And is there anyone that I have not introduced or would like to introduce themselves? All right, I think that's it. Oh yeah, Sean Donlin. Thank you. So, Mr. Chair, that's roll call and introductions.
Okay, thanks, Sam. First order of business is guest speakers and Michelle McCrae. If you would like to introduce her, Susie.
I'd be happy to. Michelle McCabe is the Executive Director of the Connecticut Main Street Center. We became a regional member as a COG last year. We've been working with them to see how our towns work together in a region. There's a constellation concept that they have. And Michelle is here just to give us a quick update, a summary of what's been happening for the last year. And I would like the board to consider continuing with the Connecticut Main Street Center into the next year. Michelle, I'm going to leave it to you now.
Thank you, Susie. Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Michelle McCabe. I'm the Executive Director of Connecticut Main Street, and we've been really thrilled to have this opportunity to work with all of you and with RiverCOG, in particular to advance your goal 2.8 out of your regional POCD, which was to recognize that different town centers and downtown projects serve distinct functions within the region, and helping all of you to sort of explore that deeper. So over the last year, we have launched a Main Street Management Status Survey in September of 2025. We had a workshop, RiverCOG's Main Streets, a virtual workshop to guide regional strategy that we held with you in November of 25. And then we distributed a regional resident survey with your help between December of 25 and February of 2026. And we're really excited for the opportunity to review the survey results and to provide some recommendations at an upcoming municipal CEO roundtable, downtown roles and regional collaboration that we are holding at RiverCOG in person on July 30th at 1 p.m. It will be an hour session, and we will be summarizing the key findings from the work that we've done so far and facilitate a guided discussion with the attendees that is going to be focused on opportunities for greater regional collaboration that will build on the unique strengths and roles of each of your municipalities. So we're very much looking forward to meeting with you all in July.
Thanks, Michelle. Susie, what are you looking for from us?
Just a motion to continue our contract with the Connecticut Main Street Center, or a membership, not a contract, but a membership for another year. And it's $2,000 still, Michelle, I believe. It's a $2,000 for the membership. I feel like they've done a really nice job of looking at our towns individually and giving us, bringing us into an opportunity to really talk about how we can work together as towns and bring out the strengths of each of our municipalities.
Thanks, Susie. Anyone have any questions for either Michelle or Susie? I'll take a motion then.
I'll make a motion.
Carol.
Yeah.
Second.
Second.
Cindy. Any further questions? Discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Sam, you want to introduce Mr. Corbo?
Sure. Bill Corvo was introduced to me by Carl Fortuna, And if I'm not mistaken, you're from ONG, or is it, yeah, and that this is he's here this morning to present to our region about a concept they have for a waste energy facility in Connecticut, and called the Smart Technology Systems. And so we've asked Bill to come and present his idea for Connecticut. So go ahead, Bill, and you can share your screen if you'd like.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody taking the time to let us tell you what we've been up to. We've been working on this for the last couple of years. And when I say we, I mean ONG Industries is the lead partner. And we also have a company called Advanced Waste Technologies International, which is a company that's been working here in Connecticut to bring forward renewable energy. And by processing MSW using a very different technology than anything we've seen before. I know you guys are busy and I saw your agenda, so I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going to go to the share button and I have, let's see. Okay, this is a document that we put together. And what we're talking about, what you see in front of you is a proposed municipal solid waste processing facility to be located in Plainfield, Connecticut. And it has various component parts that we can walk through. But I have, to save time, I have a video which we can turn on, and it'll walk you through the entire system from the recycling center here all the way to the anaerobic digestion and the gasification systems and the turbines. So I'll put that video on because it will explain things much quicker and more succinctly than I can by walking through this. So
How long is that, Bill?
it's about 5 minutes.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that you can see this. This is our website. I believe I've sent you access to this.
Bill, you'll need to share that screen anew.
How's that?
So we're currently seeing just the summary, looks like the Word doc.
So you have to pick that new screen to share it.
Excuse me? Say that again?
Yeah, you can, if you stop your sharing your screen and then reshare and pick the new screen that you would like to share. That might be the easiest way to do it. Yep. And then reshare this and choose the screen that you want to share now.
Well, it's a link. That's the problem.
Oh,
You
okay.
had the link up on the document. You got to click the link.
Okay, so why don't we do this? If you could copy that link and put it into the chat, we'll open it up on this side and share it.
Okay. Where do you want me to send it?
On the bottom, there's a little chat button. Open up the chat and put it in there, and I will we'll share it on our end and share it to the group.
Why won't it copy? Bear with me.
Not a problem. We're used to walking people through Zoom.
I got the chat here. There it is. Can you see it?
No.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There it is. Oh yeah, it just showed up. Okay. All right. So I'm going to open this link.
Yep.
And we will share it. Let's see, it's just give us a moment. me, all right, just give me a second. I'll share our screen.
Billy, okay, it's coming now. See him.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And,
all you have to do is
I
click,
will.
click on that and then go to the large screen there. Yeah. Large
Right.
screen. There it is.
Make sure you're sharing your audio, Sam.
All right, let me make sure we're sharing the audio. Just one second. Let's see. Settings.
I think it's
And
under
looking at
setting.
the set. It's under settings, so it's original sound. All right. I think this is correct, but I am. All right, I'm going to restart. Can you hear?
I don't hear any seagulls.
No.
No audio.
No audio?
No.
Yeah. So how do we share?
In the share?
Yeah.
The drop down in the share? There's
Okay.
a share audio.
Okay. Oh, share sound. Okay. All right. I'm just going to restart this.
Closure of the Materials Innovation and Recycling.
There's something.
Yeah.
It just muted itself.
Connecticut has a growing trash problem, and people are noticing. Our state has inadequate landfill and processing capacity to deal with our municipal solid waste, also known as MSW. The system we have today relies on landfills with limited future capacity and outdated, highly polluting mass burn incinerating waste to energy plants that don't meet tightening emission standards. These plants also generate additional waste ash, further stressing landfill capacities. Recent closure of the Materials Innovation and Recycling Authority facility in Hartford, Connecticut, also known as MIRA, has accelerated our inability to handle our MSW within our state boundaries. This closure alone removed 2,000 tons of MSW processing capacity a day in Connecticut, and even with renewed recycling, the state's MSW processing shortfall continues to grow. This shortfall forces many municipalities to ship their trash out of state, more than 1 million tons this year alone, at increasingly higher costs and questionable future availability. The remaining 4 resource recovery facilities, located in Bridgeport, Bristol, Lisbon, and Preston, are operating at maximum capacity, but still using older, polluting technology that produces substantial amounts of harmful emissions. Their continued operation is becoming more challenging as they fail to meet more stringent proposed emission standards. This MSW crisis, due to our aging existing mass burning facilities, may force Connecticut to export a majority of their MSW to facilities outside the state, leaving the Connecticut MSW management program beyond state control and faced with ever-rising transport costs. But there is a better solution available to handle the MSW within the state to provide a positive and environmentally friendly solution to Connecticut's waste problem. It's a quiet, odor-controlled solution that combines intense recycling coupled with conversion of MSW into renewable electricity and natural gas. Not only will this approach address Connecticut's MSW crisis, it will greatly improve our environment and provide new jobs and a renewable source of electricity for residents. That solution is smart technology systems. Smart technology systems allow for replacing the in-state MSW capacity lost with a shutdown of MIRA nearly 2,000 tons a day, recycling of 99% of metals and 98% of glass, implementation of world-class modern recycling methods within an enclosed and odor-controlled environment, ability to convert packaged food waste into renewable natural gas, utilization of gasification technology in place of waste-burning technology to produce renewable electricity, and reduce landfill use as much as possible. The SMART system is the culmination of next-generation material handling systems designed to receive, sort, and reprocess MSW into recyclables, renewable gas, and renewable electricity in a quiet, enclosed, and odor-controlled environment. The SMART system doesn't just operate cleaner than the current mass burn plants do today. Even if millions of dollars were invested in bringing those older plants up to current standards, the SMART system is still the cleaner solution. Here's how it works. Municipal solid waste is brought to the facility via truck. In keeping with the SMART Solutions' sustainable methodology of maximizing recycling at every step, waste is first brought to the bulk handling system, or BHS. The BHS is a huge sorting facility specially designed to separate glass, metals, and other recyclable materials from the waste before any other processing occurs. This facility is designed to reduce odors and noise. In addition, the BHS also removes the organic fraction to be processed separately. After sorting and recycling, the remaining MSW is processed into refuse-derived fuel, or RDF, and it and the organic fraction are sent to their next steps. The organic fraction is sent through an enclosed odor-controlled system to an anaerobic digester, or AD. The SMART Solution AD processes the organic fraction into alternative daily cover and renewable natural gas. The carbon dioxide gas byproduct of the AD process will be captured and converted to food-grade liquid CO2 that can be used in a variety of industries. Meanwhile, the RDF enters the gasifier via enclosed conveyors. Unlike the older mass burn plants, gasification is a chemical process within a closed reactor to produce purified synthesis gas without any external emissions. This resulting gas is used as a clean fuel for a boiler to power a steam turbine generator for electricity. The SMART Technology System solution produces far less ash than the older mass burn plants. That reduced ash can be transported away via truck. The SMART Technology System solution will meet the new, more stringent emission standards and significantly reduce the emissions from Connecticut's present mass burn facilities, thus improving air quality for our residents. The SMART Technology System solution demonstrates Connecticut's environmentally sound answer to our waste problem, while better recovering the renewable value of our MSW within the state. Smart technology for Connecticut's future.
Okay, that's it. So that's basically a quick overview of what we've been able to put together using amazing new technologies that are not currently being used in the United States. This is the first of its kind. We're using a Valmet technology which comes from Finland. The company Valmet is a Finnish company, and they've set up here in the United States, and we have arrangements, specific arrangements for exclusive use of their technology to gasify rather than burn the waste. The reason that I wanted to talk to everybody is because one of the things that we are doing is we're moving forward with our permitting now. I'm going to share the memo very quickly with everybody, if I can. Let's see where we are. No, I can't find it now. Where are you? Hold on a second. Give me a second. Where is that? Okay, I've sent you copies of this, the electronic copies of this document, so I'm not going to bore you by reading it, but the bottom line of it is that we came up with a support system. I'm aware of the fact that you've spent a lot of time and effort creating a regional waste authority study that you had finished in November 1st of last year. One of the things that's missing under Connecticut law right now is there's no financial support system that would enable communities to benefit with tipping fee stabilization. In previous, with the resource recovery systems, what they did is they set up a bonding system. The resource recovery entities got the bond money from the state of Connecticut, but then they were also given long-term electric offtake agreements with a preferential payment. That's not happening anymore because the price of electricity has gone through the roof as well. So what we came up with was an alternative methodology, which I've named ESP, which stands for Environmental Stabilization Payments. And we're going to be moving forward in the next legislative session to see if we can maximize the amount of strategic support the state of Connecticut can provide for a smart type MSW processing system. And that would be of benefit to all of the towns and cities that are processing MSW. And this would be a replacement system that would be able to take the place of the existing resource recovery facilities. There's 4 of them left. They were all done in the late 1980s, early 1990s. I was on the city council in Middletown when we voted to approve the development of the Lisbon plant. So I'm extremely aware of what that was all about. At the time, it replaced landfilling, and they said that was the critical point that they wanted to achieve. Now, ironically, we're landfilling 600 miles away, at least short term for the next 4 or 5 years. And the cost is starting to go through the roof. That you're all aware of that. So basically, the environmental stabilization payment would be a contribution that we would suggest the state of Connecticut would make available through the DEEP. And you have to meet a number of very specific criteria in order to qualify a project of this type for use by a regional waste authority or Connecticut Waste Authority, or even as a private development. What happens with ESP is it's designed to have stabilization impact on the tipping fees. The tipping fees, as you are all aware, are jumping up quite a bit. When we first started, it was like $50 a ton. Now you're well over 120, 130, 140, and it's going to keep going up. And you don't know what kind of taxes you're going to have to pay out-of-state landfill entities that have to pay taxes for out-of-state waste being brought to Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Break it up. I don't hear that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. It would also help create new MSW processing plants using this technology. Some of that money would be used to provide financial contributions for host communities in response to environmental justice discussions that we've had with some of the communities already. Major reduction of greenhouse gas production while processing the waste. We capture the CO2 and reutilize it. And then we would have this comprehensive waste processing methodology so that the recycling system would actually be able to separate the organic and food waste from the other waste. You might be able to avoid what I jokingly refer to as the pink pork chop bags, which are being used right now to separate the waste by hand if somebody's going to take the time to do that. And then the other advantage is that we are suggesting that unlike with the resource recovery authorities, once the bonds were paid off, the preferential electricity rate disappeared. So it's just, these entities are just getting regular electricity rates and are considered class 2 renewable entities. What we're saying is, just like you have special funding for sewage treatment plants, this kind of ESP payment should be permanently available so you can modernize the facility so you don't have to go crazy every 30 years to try and build something new where you need it every day, no matter how long you're alive. Okay, so that's really the basics of what this is all about, and we want to inform you because we're going to come back to you and say, would you like to participate in this? And it would be in the towns and cities' best interest to help us push through legislation that would create the environmental stabilization payment going forward. So that's why I wanted to have this discussion with you, and we'll be contacting the other COGs in the state as well.
Billy, how was the first host town chosen?
How is the first host town chosen for
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
It's up in the air right now, Tony. It's what they're saying is they want to modernize the facilities, but they don't have the final legislative package chosen. So you have to. They're saying Deep would issue an RFP for technology to create a new entity. Okay.
Would this be taxable?
It depends on the final structure. It can be like the resource recovery system where you use Connecticut Waste Authority and you have a non-taxable entity receiving the benefits. Okay. And then what we would be doing is we would be providing the technology on a turnkey basis to an entity like a waste authority, or we can do a private one and then just provide contracts to the towns.
Okay, my experience using the sewer is not a good analogy there. We really have nothing to do with the Mattabasset, and we don't really get that much other than a stipend they approved years ago in legislation that does not go up. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Corbo?
Yes, this is Todd Gelston. I have a question. I actually have many questions. But first of all,
you can keep it to just a few because of our time.
Okay. It looks like this right now in East Haddam, we sort out the recyclables from the garbage.
Yeah.
Disposables. So it looks like this facility is, and we call that single stream, when the paper and the plastic and the metals are all put in one container. And then we separate the garbage as another container. But it looks like your facility takes garbage right from the house, all mixed up, and then sorts it out at your plant. Is that correct?
That's correct. It has an amazing, BHS is an amazing company that's been working all over the United States to provide that type of recycling capability. And it cuts to the chase so that you don't have to do all of the little pork chop bags and the other things.
That's interesting. Now, the second question I have is size. This facility that you showed in the video, is that a typical facility for several towns? Is that a facility for the entire state? I'm a little confused on scale here.
Okay, well, that facility, the way it's currently designed, will take care of 1,800 tons per day, 9,000 tons a week, and 486,000 tons of waste per year. Okay, so it replaces, in part, almost replaces the service that Mira was providing for the state of Connecticut. So these can be resized differently, so that this is a fairly robust one, 1,800 tons a day. Mira was 2,000 tons a day. Lisbon is about a quarter of that. So we can do a half a dozen of these, and that would take care of the whole state. Or you could do several smaller units taking care of a variety of towns.
Okay. I have
This will be the last one, Todd.
Okay. I'm allowed one more question?
Yeah, one more.
Okay. The weight, you talk about 1,800 tons per day. But so that's coming in the facility, but your video didn't show what happens to all that weight, that mass. Is it stored somewhere on the property, or is it taken away immediately that day, or is it burned completely that day? I was a little confused about that.
It gets processed every day. That's the amount that gets processed per day. And the waste is brought in 5 days a week and processed 7 days. Okay. We try to keep the traffic controlled on the weekends. And that's how it works. And then if anybody has any other questions, if you've received this document in the email, you can contact us at the the manager at smartmswprocessing.com with your questions, and we'll get back to you with our responses.
Thank you. I'm done.
Thank
All
you.
right, anyone else with a quick question? If not, Sam, I want you, if you could put this out to our members, please.
Yeah, Bill, if you could email us a copy of this document. I think we already have it. Yeah, Vicky will resend it to the group. Thank you,
Okay.
Bill, I
All
have
right.
one other question, if
Yeah.
you allow me to, just real
Yeah.
one quick one. I know you presented it to me. This is Gene Nacera from Middletown.
Hi,
Yeah,
Gene.
Mayor, go ahead.
It's first step is it to get the legislative our legislative body to support the process to generate the revenue to expedite it.
Well,
What is step one?
Well, step one is we're going through step one right now, which is the permitting of the project.
Right.
So that
Yeah.
and we've done a tremendous amount of detailed analysis, working with all of the entities in this to make it better at each step along the way, and make sure it's going to work.
Right.
The legislative side is this was a short legislative session. Next year, we'll be able to get into more detail. The ESP process would replace the need for an electric offtake agreement that nobody wants to provide anymore. So what we're suggesting is we believe our technology is class 1, but if there's a reluctance to, for any reason, not to provide funding through class 1 as opposed to class 2, which is what the resource recovery authorities are right now, then we are providing the ESP concept as an alternative strategy to help stabilize tipping fees and induce people to use these types of facilities as opposed to taking it 600 miles or 1,000 miles away and sticking it in a landfill.
Got it. And then site is step 2 in Connecticut site.
Yeah, we own the property. O&G owns the property in Plainfield that we're moving on right now, which is why we've been able to move forward as vigorously as we have. But by the same token, we're looking at other alternative locations, including existing resource recovery facilities. As you are aware, you're going to have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to upgrade the facilities to get to marginal benefits in comparison to what we're able to deliver.
Right. All right. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Gene.
Okay. In the interest of time, we'll send this out to all the counselors. If you have any questions, you can put them forth directly to Billy, and I'm sure he'll get right back to you.
Absolutely.
Okay, Sam, we'll move along.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Next is public speaking.
Okay, Sam, do we have anything other than what's on the agenda under additional public speaking?
If there's any member of the public who wants to be recognized, please either raise your hand or identify yourself otherwise. I don't see any members of the public joining us who want to be recognized, so I think we can move on.
Okay, move along. Is Carol still with us on the phone? Carol?
Yes, I am. Thank you. So last month I missed this call, but just a few updates. The reason for that, we had our annual registrars conference in Windsor Locks, and most of your registrars attended that. It's 3 days. I went for one of the days, and it's important. I know everyone has budget constraints, that it is in your budget for them to go, because it's part of their continuing ed and training hours. It counts towards their training hours yearly. And that was April, and now in May, we have been in referendum mode. I know most of you have had referendums. Some of you are having second referendums, even today. And in the referendum mode, the equipment was rolled out last year, the new election equipment near referendums, and some did not use it for referendums, even though they used it for the election. It's a little bit different animal at referendums, programming the sticks. So that's something we've been working on, is getting everyone still up to speed for the referendum use of the new equipment. It's just been a busy time. And as you know, no excuse absentee balloting has passed. And there's already a lot of misinformation floating in the world about that. There's people, and I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional, saying that no excuse absentee ballots means no IDs are necessary. That is not the truth. That is not synonymous. The ID process for a no excuse absentee ballot is exactly the same as a regular absentee ballot. It's all handled through your town clerk's offices. Anyone can get an application, bring it to somebody homebound, but it's still, once the ballot is going to be filled out, it's still the same ID process. So the IDs will still be enforced, and the no excuse part just really means that if something comes up suddenly, you can get an absentee ballot, not for the traditional causes we have now. So I think it's useful. I think eventually no excuse absentee ballot can lower your costs for early voting. That's something that as CEOs you're going to have to put pressure on, saying with no excuse absentee voting, can we get those early voting hours shorter, lower, the days, less days? It's very important to push that. And then finally, we're going to be really ramping up more for the rollout mode of the whole new voter database in the state. It did get postponed multiple times. It is scheduled to roll out right after the midterm, and we're starting focus groups with your registrars, so they're not afraid to go into the test environment. It's hands-on. We're doing in different towns, getting a few towns together and say, this is how you go in the test environment. This is what it looks like. This is where you're going to be doing certain things, voter registration, starting with the most common things. So lots going on in progress, and anytime, as I say, just please reach out to me with any questions, email best, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, Carol, anybody have a quick question for Carol?
Well, I have a comment, Tony. I just wanted to raise
comment, Sam?
About the funding for the regional election advisor. So a few years back in 2023, in that session, the General Assembly finally passed a bill, and a couple years later, starting last year, they finally started paying for this position again. The legislation provides $25,000 to the COG for regional election advisor. By the time we received the money in the summer of last year, we had already approved Carol's budget, a 2-year contract, totaling $25,000 over 2 years. So that was $12,500 per year. I've inquired to OPM if we can get an extension on the remaining funds of the $25,000 that we received in July. And their guidance was that the unspent fiscal year 26 money will have to be returned, and a new grant for 27 would be issued. One thing I wanted just to find out from this group is since we have significantly more funding for this program, my suggestion is we go into negotiations with Carol and with the CEOs to find out how this program could be expanded with the available funds that the state's providing.
What if we make a motion to amend our budget and remove the funding?
What do you mean remove the funding? So
You're saying we funded it. Let's remove the funding that we funded and take the money that the state's gonna give us.
Oh, we did, but the $25,000 we received leaves, 12,500 unspent, which OPM is gonna want back at the end of June. And so, what I had requested was an extension on the second, on the remaining money from the 20, so the state has paid for this position twice over. And we had negotiated with her a contract of 12,500 per year, based on the assumption that we would be paying for this out of RiverCOG dues from municipal money. The state did come through. It was a little bit of a fight to get the state to come through on this, but they came through, and they came through in the legislation at 25,000 per year. What I would like to get is just take the temperature of the group as to whether a scope expansion and a program expansion would be of interest to the CEOs for next year. And if that's the case, we would work out what that scope and budget expansion would look like for adoption next month at next month's COG meeting.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, anybody have any thoughts on this? All right, Sam, put it together and bring your proposal to next month's meeting.
And this will be a collaborative thing with Carol and the CEOs to come up with what additional training could be provided to our municipal registrars, and because we do have the funding to pay for training now that we didn't in the past. So if possible, I'd like to come up with a scope that use the full grant, but based on whatever we decide next month, I will inform OPM of the size of the grant that we would request, because I don't want to be in the situation where we're returning money.
I don't like giving the state back money when they want to give it to us. All right, put it together and be ready to bring forth your proposal and answer questions.
Excellent, thank you.
All right.
I just have one comment with that is there is a definite need for more training, and that's doable. It's just not doable to fit in enough before this June 30th deadline to, use up some of that money. We are going to use a little bit of it, but not enough of it. But there is definitely a need for more training between new equipment and new software.
Yeah, I believe he's talking FY 27 instead of 20.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
Thank you.
Dennis, Nicole?
Is Nicole on here? And if she isn't, I don't know, Susie, if you have any update from Dennis.
The only
Susie, there you go.
would have is that Demis was talking about FIFA and the potential impact on our hotel rooms and our roadways, with people going back and forth between New York and Boston. So keep an eye out. They were concerned about displacement of folks who are using our hotels, motels for housing. So keep an eye on that in your communities. The other thing I wanted to ask about Demis was that we are wrapping up the last grant that we received in 2023 before the contract for fiduciary was shifted over to East Shore Health District. We're wrapping that up. And then there's also one last grant that was extended until September 30th of this year. Now, with this last grant, it's a smaller amount. It's $25,000 left in the grant. And the Demis office in Connecticut is recommending that we use the reimbursement process. So when we'll purchase things up front and then are reimbursed by the Demis office. If you remember last year, we made a shift because of some concern about money actually coming back to us through the reimbursement process. We shifted to a cash advance process, and that's been working fine, but it's a very slow process. So the Demis office has recommended that we go back to the reimbursement process. And they have said that the standard process is that the Demis office in Connecticut pays out the request when it's approved, and then requests a drawdown from FEMA at a later date. So the state is paying for these grants. We have been providing them the documentation they need. We have been paid for everything to date. So my concerns about the risk are limited. I don't have that many concerns about it, but I wanted to ask the board, Sam and I talked about this. I wanted to ask the board your thoughts on using the reimbursement process for this last $25,000 versus the cash advance process.
Anyone have a thought? Yes, Mayor. Mayor, go ahead. You're muted.
I apologize. I was waiting to my secretary.
Well, I'll just speak to it. Is that last year we switched.
Sam, could you get closer to the mic?
So you're having trouble hearing us now? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we switched to the cash advance process out of concerns that that DC wouldn't pay its bills last year when a lot of federal grants were interrupted. Luckily, in the past year, those monies for Homeland Security have been paid, and from my understanding from Susie and Demis that they're under a little bit of a time crunch. So that's why they're asking for us to do the reimbursement process, and the state does have the cash to reimburse us. So I think the risk is minimal to RiverCOG at this point. Whereas
So what do you
last
want,
year,
Sam? What do you need from us?
I just want. I think we're going back to the way we used to do things. I don't think we necessarily need a vote, but we wanted to check to make sure that there was no objection to putting this last grant through the reimbursement process as opposed to the cash advance process, which takes longer.
Do we have a consensus that what Sam's proposing is okay, that he can go forward?
Quicker sounds good to me. Todd Gelston speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, we will proceed with the reimbursement process. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Sam. Congressional updates, Blumenthal's office, Senator Blumenthal. Ellen, you here?
I'm here. I'll make it quick, not much on my end. We are continuing to watch the CDS appropriations process. We'll keep everyone updated. The Senate is in recess this week, but the senator is on a CODEL, so he will not be traveling around the state. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Ellen? Okay, thank you. Senator Murphy's office, Erwin.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'll keep it quick. We sent out an email update for May yesterday. If you haven't got it, I know that Vicki said she was going to attach it to the documents. But just quickly, some grant opportunities to keep an eye on. The Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities BRIC grant, which is due on July 23rd. The Flood Mitigation Assistance Grant Program, which is due Thursday, August 6th. You have time to submit or revise or resubmit your application to FEMA. And then the fiscal year 2025 fire grants through the Department of Homeland Security were released. So this includes the Assistant to Firefighters grants, the Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response, SAFER grants, and then the Fire Prevention and Safety grants. And then finally, Safe Streets for All was due yesterday at, I believe, or it was yesterday, yeah, at 5 p.m. So we'll keep you posted on grants. I also sent around maybe a week or so ago that there's going to be PFAS for drinking water funding coming out soon for Connecticut. So, and I think there's also some lead pipe funding money coming out down the pipeline as well. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Oh, good one. Lead pipe down the pipeline. Anyone have any questions? Okay, Representative Courtney's office. Is Julie here?
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
So just building off of what Ellen and Aaron said, as you guys are well aware, probably, we finally have ended the DHS shutdown. 10 weeks, a record for the US government. I don't know if it's one we should be applauding for, but a record nonetheless. I just wanted to flag this because given that the agency has been without routine funds actually since mid-February, continued delays in service, even as they get back moving, probably will continue to happen as they work to get back to normal operations. So, don't be too concerned about if you're having any even delays with Demis. It could happen. Everybody's doing their best to get back on track. From the House side, we are in the middle of the fiscal year 27 appropriations process. The appropriations full committee markups for the agriculture, commerce, justice, science, and energy and water bills have taken place over the past few weeks. All three of those bills have passed out of committee, but have not yet been voted on by the full chamber. And then markups for Interior and Environment and THUD are scheduled for June 3rd. Labor, HHS is on the calendar for June 9th. And then Homeland Security is scheduled for June 10th. In addition to appropriations, surface transportation reauthorization text is out. It is linked in my report. It was advanced out of the TNI subcommittee on May 22nd, and there is a section by section of the bill also linked in my report. Additionally, the House has passed an amended version of the 21st Century Road to Housing Act on May 20th, sending it now back to the Senate for consideration again. The goal of this legislation is to increase housing supply and improve affordability. Outreach on this bill to our office has been notably quite positive. It seems that this package has very strong advocates. Any additional feedback that you guys have would be more than welcome. The congressman is a co-sponsor on this package, and some educational materials on the newest version of the bill are also linked in my report. And then finally, the House version of the Farm Bill was passed out of the chamber on April 30th. It is anticipated that there is still a long road to passage for this one. So it is possible that we could end up with something that does not look very much like what we have now, but there are a lot of informational materials linked in my report as well. If you have any questions or feedback on any of the pieces of legislation that we're talking about today, let me know. Other than that, I think Aaron mentioned the preparedness grants from FEMA and the lead service line replacement money and PFAS money, both of which are being sent directly to DEEP, and then DEEP will develop, their annual plan to subgrant those out. So I think that's it for me.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Moving along to MPO business, approval of minutes of April 22nd. Can I get a
I'll move
motion?
approval.
Dave, can I get a second? Who
I'll
was
second.
that, Eric?
Yes.
Thank you. Any corrections? Okay, see none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Condot, Ricky Milner, you have anything for us?
Yes, I have a couple of updates or a couple of upcoming virtual public meetings I'll discuss briefly. The first one I'll just discuss briefly is the draft statewide transportation improvement program, the STIP. The DOT will be conducting 2 public informational meetings regarding the draft STIP on Wednesday, June 3rd at 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So there's an option to attend in person at the DOT headquarters as well as virtual as well. And a couple other meetings we have coming up is we have a meeting on product number 172529, replacement and removal of retaining walls in Eastern Connecticut. This proposed product involves the town of Portland as a retaining wall will be replaced on Route 17 near Wilcoxville Road. The product will also include reconstructing the northbound shoulder to accommodate a wider shoulder and milling and overlaying the northbound section of the roadway with new pavement. That meeting will actually be held virtually today at 6:30 p.m. Another meeting we have is on project 172541, accessible pedestrian upgrades in Eastern Connecticut. So this proposed project involves the following towns and intersections. So in Clinton is at the intersection of Route 1 at Norwood Drive and Shopping Center Drive. And East Hampton is at the intersection of Route 16 at Route 196. And that will be a virtual meeting as well. That will be held on June 1st at 6 o'clock. And another meeting we have is on project 27128, replacement of bridge number 06296 carrying Waterside Lane over Hemlock Road in Clinton. So that is actually an in-person meeting. It will be held at the Clinton Town Hall in the green room, and that will be held on June 4th at 6 o'clock. And lastly, we have another project meeting 1710496, replacement or removal of retaining walls in Central Connecticut. So this proposed project involves the town of Cromwell as a retaining wall were removed on Route 99 near Doring Drive. One of the two northbound lanes in the vicinity of the retaining wall will be removed. The northbound shoulder will be reconstructed to accommodate a 5-foot wide shoulder, and the northbound section of the roadway will be repaved. A sidewalk will be installed as well on the northbound side as well. And that virtual meeting will be held on June 10th at 6:30 p.m. And that's all updates I have on behalf of DOT. Thank you.
Thanks, Ricky. Any questions? Thank you. Okay, moving along. Rob, can we take C1 and 2 without objections of the counselors? Rob, are you with us?
Yep, sure. Yeah, we can do the first two and then the last group. These are line items for 25 tip amendment 17. The first is a CT transit project, various locations, project number 170 FAREBX. This uses FTA section 5339 formula funds, exempt from air quality modeling. The description in the tip is CT transit fare collection system. Phase is other. Year is 2026. It's 15 million, 80-20-0 federal, state, local split, and is a new project. The second is another CT transit project. Again, various locations. Project number 400, 2026 EQ. Again, using FTA 5339 funds. Again, exempt from air quality modeling. This is CT transit miscellaneous admin capital and facility improvements in FY26. All phases for 500,000, again, 80-20-0 split. The first project is basically to replace the existing fare box funding or fare boxes for CT transit on a statewide basis. The current fare boxes are about 10 years old and definitely in need of modernization. This new system will be for the purchase of about 700 fare boxes to help streamline, collecting fares, for more efficient and secure transactions, better user experience. It will also support multiple payment methods, things such as smart cards, mobile wallets, contactless bank cards, things like that. It will also include a centralized management system to monitor transactions. Basically, this just new fare collection system basically uses newer technology to create a more efficient, secure, and user-friendly system. The second project we mentioned is basically using 5339 carryover for miscellaneous support equipment. This is things such as computer hardware and software, maintenance equipment, tools, office furniture, and other things as the need arises.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve C1 and 2?
So moved.
So moved.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor of approving C1 and 2, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Rob, C2 through 6, please, without
Yes.
objection.
Yep, the next 5 line items are for the same project with different phases. This project is in Blandford, Clinton, East Haven, Guilford, Madison, New Haven, West Haven, and Westbrook. This is I-95. The project number is 170-3810. This uses Federal Highway CMAQ funds, which is congestion mitigation and air quality. Again, exempt from air quality modeling. It's to upgrade CCTV cameras and equipment. The first line item is for a preliminary design phase in 2026 for $1.7 million total. That's a 90-10-0 federal, state, local split and is a new project. The second line item is for the final design phase in 2027 for $825,000. The third line item is an AC entry for construction in 2028 for 0. The fifth line item is an AC conversion for construction in 2028 for a little over $11 million. And the final line item is an AC conversion for construction in FYI, which is beyond the scope of the tip, but is 2029 for a little under $14 million. This project basically is to replace the closed circuit TV cameras, communications equipment, and fiber optic cable. Similar to the last project, this is the existing cameras are old. They're no longer they're end of the useful life. I can't get components and things anymore. This replaces about 50 cameras along I-95 between West Haven and Westbrook. They'll basically have higher resolution, digital analytics, incident detection systems, things like that. So it'll be a better system. They'll be a little higher, so have better coverage. This will help improve emissions and air quality, improve motorist information, monitor construction, maintenance work, highway information activities, basically improve public safety. There is the 3 phases. Let's see here, 1.7 preliminary design, 8.25 or 825,000 final design, and 25 million in construction. I did send out the emission summary report with the packet if anyone was interested in that. So I don't know if there's any additional questions.
Any questions?
Yeah, yes,
Yes, Todd.
I have a question. Okay, so upgrade, maybe upgrade is the wrong word to use, but I'm frankly shocked. Preliminary design, 1.7 million? Did I read that correctly?
Yep.
What requires so much design work with just a simple upgrade?
Some of them are new. It's all being changed. You know what I mean? New equipment, new cameras, everything has to be somewhat hooked up with the operations center. So it's things like that.
But there's no new conduiting, there's no new trenches to be dug, there's no new lines to be strung differently. I don't understand 1.7 million, to be honest with you. I just don't understand it. For something that's just an upgrade. I mean, you're already there. You're replacing new cameras, I understand that. Maybe new wiring, I understand that. But why so much money in design work? Preliminary design work, not even final design.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just the number I have.
Might it have to
do?
Rick,
Sorry.
We do have Ricky from Condon. He might be able to explain, if you have any additional information, Ricky.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now for the background information on the design work here. I'm looking at the description, see if I can provide a little more clarification about that on my end. See, one moment.
Does it have to do with the fact that they're also increasing the height of the CCTV cameras? So instead of, it being a pole that's 40 feet tall, it's an 80-foot tall or whatever the actual measurements are. That's the only reason I can think of that might require checking if, the poles can handle the wind.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on the height of the poles, but what I'm seeing from the description on the internal description about this project for CCTV, it looks like it's like replace slash upgrade. So I'm wondering if they're replacing a couple other aspects of like communication equipment and fiber optic cable as well, it looks like. What I can do, I can follow up with the project engineering and probably follow up information about that if that's helpful to everyone today.
Well, we'll leave it in, and if everyone votes no, then we can come back to it. Any
I guess
objections?
my recommendation, if there are questions about the project, I guess that would be to table it and approve it later, but
Okay.
but the question I would have for Connecticut DOT is that if we did table it, what delays would that cause the project? And just understanding
That's
that.
going to delay it because they need the approval for the funding from us.
Right.
Am I correct, Ricky?
On for this project here, when it comes to dates, I can follow up with that. I don't see nothing for the FTP date. That's blank on my end. So what I can do, let me talk to the project engineer when he's available today, get back to everyone as soon as possible through email, I'm thinking, to address the questions and concerns.
If, another option, if you think you can get the answer in the next 30 minutes, maybe we can table it and come back.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. Yeah, let me talk to the project engineer if she's available. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, but my understanding is that's why it's before us, because it needs our approval.
Yes, correct.
Just so everybody understands. All right. Without objection, I'm going to skip over C 1 through 6, and we'll move along to D, Rob.
Yep, the D is the let me see here, the 27 tip adoption along with the air quality conformity and self-certification. Let's see here. The draft tip was available for review for its 30-day public comment period between April 16th and May 15th. It was actually, I did the presentation on our April 27th MPO board meeting, which was like a preview for the information for the hybrid public meeting that we had on April 29th. As everyone knows, on the MPO board, the tip is basically a compilation of all the highway and transit projects that we intend to pursue over the next 4 years, utilizing federal funds. Let's see, the draft tip and STIP was also available. So DOT was there because we piggybacked the STIP meeting with our tip meeting. I think most of the other COGs do that as well. There is 3 separate resolutions. The first adopts the 27 to 30 tip. The intent is to go back to a 2-year tip where we're updating the tip every 2 years instead of 3 or 4, keeping the tip more current and hopefully having less amendments. The second is part of the tip and the MTP is the adoption of the March 26th air quality conformity determination. Basically, all projects in the TIP and the MTP, they can't create new violations to the National Ambient Air Quality Standards according to the Clean Air Act of 1990. So basically, DOT has an approved model, and they basically model the projects for NOx and VOx, NOx being nitrogen oxides, which is basically from burning fossil fuels, VOX being volatile organic compounds, which is basically carbon elements from other things, which basically creates smog. So this was modeled for the base year of 2026, 2030, 2035, 2045, and 2055. That is compared to the amounts in the state implementation plan, and the difference was negative in all accounts, meaning we are in compliance with the Clean Air Act amendments. The final resolution that also went out with your packet is the MPO planning self-certification. These used to be reviewed at various COGs at different times. It was decided a while back to just do it with the tip so everyone's on the same schedule and they all come in at once. This is a self-certification, basically saying that we are in compliance with many of the MPO things we need to meet. This is such as air quality, Title VI, non-discrimination based on race, color, creed, origin, the current transportation regulations, ADA, Older Americans Act, Rehabilitation Act, and other factors that we need to meet. So this is always included with the tip as well. I don't know if we have any additional questions.
Anyone have a question? Rob, what do you need exactly from us? A motion?
Yep, a motion to approve all 3 resolutions.
Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Rob, 27 MTP update.
Yep. As we've been talking about over the last few months, we're still working on the 27 MTP update. That's the Metropolitan Transportation Plan. We're currently working on demographics, freight, transit, and the project list. So that's where we are with that. There was a survey we had mentioned in the past to get any additional projects in from the towns. If you had anything, you could fill that out. I believe that he was going to send that out with her newsletter later in the week. In the meantime, I will include any of the projects from plans such as SS4A and hazard mitigation that are transportation related, for the towns from those approved plans that were adopted since the last plan in 2023.
Any questions for Rob? Any other transportation bits of information you got for us, Rob?
Nope, other than, let's see here, for the 27 tip, that will take effect October 1st. So in the meantime, even though that was adopted today, we will still be working off the 25 tip until the start of the federal fiscal year.
Okay. All right, hang around and see if we can get an answer for Todd and the rest of the counselors, and we'll come back to C 2 through 6, 3 through 6. Brendan, transit update.
Sounds good. Thank you, Tony. Yep, so a couple updates. I'll keep it quick here. We successfully got some funding for microtransit. So at Excellence, we have 1 more year of microtransit funding for East Hampton, Madison, Guilford, Middletown. So thank you for everybody for submitting testimony, being supportive on that. They've been going very well. This has been nice to be able to continue that. So that's definitely some great news. We're still working on our bus stop program. So we're working with some stops. There's some issues with some stops, and we're having some little delays with the state on some permitting, but we're working through them to hopefully get that resolved. But that continues to march on, and I go to each of the stops to make sure they're correct. And then finally, I'll just mention that we had the Clinton trolley up and running again, which is great. So that seasonal service is now back up in town of Clinton. So we're working with getting that up and running, and that will run until Labor Day. So it had its best year ever last year, ridership wise. So probably want to build on that momentum again this year. And so if you're in the Clinton or Madison area and want to take the trolley and go visit the beach or anywhere else in Clinton, feel free to give that a go. But Joe, is there anything else I missed there? I guess that'll work for now.
Okay. Right. Any questions for Brendan, please?
Well, I'll also just add that funding for Shoreline East was also put into that funding bill. So yes. Service will be partially restored.
Okay, good. Todd.
Yeah, I have a question. Yes, Brendan, thank you very much for the report. You mentioned that the state has funded the microtransit. There's a risk they weren't going to do that, but I guess they did. That's good. Is that funding sufficient to allow you to grow your transit business through this coming year?
So this funding is just for the microtransit pilots to continue it. So it's just enough to exactly cover what we're doing today for these expansion zones in those three zones we have.
It's just enough.
Yeah, so it covers the cost of serving or operating our current zones today. Yeah, it's not an expansion of funds, it's just enough funds to keep it going. Yep.
For existing
funds.
service levels.
Yep. Yep.
So like status quo, maintain
Correct.
status quo.
Right. But it could have been that we lost 3 of our 4 zones. So it was good that we didn't lose those zones. So that was good.
You're happy you didn't lose, but not so happy because they didn't gain. Okay, thank you very much. No more questions, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I think I froze up. Oh, thanks, Brendan. Any questions for Brendan? Okay. Moving along to COG business, FY 27 RiverCOG budget, Sam?
Sure. All right. So I'm going to just give me a second. I will share a copy of our budget. Or if Sally, I'll make you a co-host. If you have it open, you can please go ahead. I'm making a co-host now, Sally, so you can share it. So Sally and I have been working hard on creating a draft budget. Typically, in a typical year, we have the draft budget get reviewed by the executive committee first before getting presented to the COG, although this is not a typical year. We have been working very hard to recreate the magic that Paula practiced at RiverCOG with our finances, and we're making good headway. Sally and I will give you a brief overview of our draft budget as it stands this morning. I think there's a couple numbers I want to double check before we send this out to the council later on this afternoon with a memo explaining it. And there may be a couple further clarifications that we may work on before we bring this to you in June for approval. So, Sally, if you can see if you can share it. So we're presenting to you a $2.8 million budget for fiscal year 2027. It's an interesting budget year because a number of projects that funded consultant projects are sunsetting, and we're also sunsetting a couple of responsibilities as well. That including the Gateway Commission hosting for Dennis Region 2. And if you could zoom in a little bit. Okay. So this is the budget format. It shows it goes back. It shows actually 4 years or 3 years past years, including our current fiscal year, our projections for this current fiscal year ending June 30th, and then where our draft budget for fiscal year 27 is looking. Our largest funding source for next year is going to be the Regional Services Grant from OPM. This money comes from a small portion of the hotel and car rental tax, and that totals together $950,000. $550,000 of that is unrestricted and can be used on regional services, regional planning, and a whole slew of really any topic area that RiverCOG works in. Whereas the $400,000 is split into 2 halves, $200,000 that's earmarked for housing planning, and $200,000 that is earmarked for either solid waste and recycling or stormwater management. There was a bill last in the session that just ended that would have made it clear that the legislation was and/or, so that 200 could be spent on both topics, but that did not pass. Right now, the recommendation from staff is to work on stormwater management projects with that 200,000, and that 200,000 and that money would be spent on both staff time and on hiring a consultant to assist with that project. Other sources of significant source of income is town dues. That was approved back in January of a 2% increase to both the base amount and the per capita amount, and we experienced a slight population growth according to the Department of Public Health's population numbers. So that's why there's an increase of actually 2.39% because of the population increase, which is a good thing. The next largest source of funding is our role as a metropolitan planning organization and the transportation planning money we receive. We're estimating to have 608,000 of our left of our 2-year contract, our 2-year Unified Planning Work Program, our UPWP. We also receive funding from Estuary Transit District for Brendan's position at RiverCOG and his assistants, and then we will be starting up a new project on the airline trail in Middletown, and we have that project starting up for 60 grand for RiverCOG staff time. And then we also show in this budget for Regional Waste Authority a further phase of that study, dependent on the approval of the board to move forward with the next phase of that project. So those are the major items under income. Go down to expenses. I'll start with salaries. In the salary line item, I'm proposing. So there's a few different things that you need to be aware of. In fiscal year 2026, we added 2 new positions for communications and also for assistance with environmental planning. Those positions were part year because they did not. Those positions didn't start in the beginning of the fiscal year. This year will be the first full year. We also, in discussions with Sally and Joy, we discussed proposing making Joy's position, she's our financial assistant, this year from part-time to full-time. There is more than enough financial work to be done in the office, and Sally could use the additional hours and assistance from Joy. So that leading to a larger salary line item. Other things of note, of course, the payroll taxes go up, medical goes up as well with positions and people aging off of their parents' health insurance policies. We do have some, may have someone coming off as well as they go on Medicare. And of course, our defined contribution plan will go up with the larger salaries. I do have in that 1,460,000 number, I do have some room in there for if we do need to hire another staff person part year. I'll have some flexibility there, as well as to provide some merit or promotion ability in salary. Right now, I'm moving forward with a 3% cost of living increase for staff. I polled other COG directors, and the COGs across the state were between 2.8 and 4% in increases. I was surprised by the 4%, especially considering where towns are coming in. So right now, I'm proposing a 3% cost of living increase. Scrolling down to other projects. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The medical also has a significant premium increase.
Right. Yeah. So I think everyone we are on the state's partnership 2.0 plan, and that's coming in at 11% increase. So I know you're all probably dealing with that. But we are going to, luckily, with some of our plan need going from family to couples, going to probably a supplement plan from full plan for Medicare. So we will have a little bit of some cost savings, but yeah, we're all going to be struggling with affording health insurance just like everyone else.
Yeah.
And to go under just major projects and expenses, this first section here is really where money sort of gets passed through to consultants. That first line item, you'll see 28,000. That is the second half of the municipal economic development project that Susie is leading. We currently have 146,000 in there for consultants to assist with the new RSG mandates for housing and for stormwater management. And we have that 25,000 that we just discussed as a reimbursement that's going out as well. Let's see, other things that are of note. We have about $30,000 left in our natural hazard mitigation update. And we have a GIS update project. We have fewer consultant projects, but that's also because we have lesser grants coming in for those consultant funded projects. So that's where you'll see the major changes. And then for other expenses at the bottom, we are projecting just some increases, particularly for utilities, for travel as gas gets more expensive. We have 15 grand for equipment, as we may be shifting. We may be need to purchase a server for local hosting of files, because there have been some issues with cloud hosting with our current provider. Our office rent has stayed flat for the last 10 years, and through lucky negotiations on my part. So this will be our last year at this rent, but you'll see it's stayed consistent, which I'm been very happy about. We will be negotiating next year a new lease with our landlord. Let's see. We are budgeting more for our audit for next year, just to be safe with some of the difficulties that we encountered. Although we expect it to go a little bit easier next year after having this audit under our belts with new staff. Any other items, Sally, that you want to point out?
No.
Okay. So, so Sally and I will be getting this draft out to you. Please feel free to contact me with any questions you may have or concerns you might have. This will be on the agenda for the executive committee for discussion, and also on the agenda for the June COG meeting for discussion and approval.
Okay. Anybody have a quick question for Sam? All right. It'll be on your agenda for next month, and we'll get the information out beforehand so you can take a look through it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. I hate to bring up the next one. Legislative update, Sam.
Yeah, so I'm going to turn this over to Susie for a very brief legislative update. I know many of you have attended the cost and CCM update, so it'll just be very quick from Susie. Go ahead, Susie.
All right, really, really quick. I'm sure you're aware there were several bills that passed, some better than others for municipalities. The biggest one was making adjustments to the state budget and providing some funding for education. Let's see, it does increase the maximum income property tax credit to towns, and then there's some other pieces of that. And this if you haven't seen it already, I'll send it around. And again, this is really just also CCM and cost went over many of these too. The act concerning utility connections for accessory dwelling units, you can't upcharge essentially to add a utility connection for an ADU. Strengthening municipal zoning enforcement actually gives the municipalities a little more power to enforce statutes. And let's say an act implementing recommendations from the Department of Transportation and concerning vegetation management. This one was the riparian, I believe. Nope, I'm wrong. This one was about removing encampments along the Connecticut DOT and the requirement to provide a 14-day notice. This one also adjusts the deadlines for electric school bus adoption. This one's already been mentioned, SB 9, that allowed the pilot program to be extended for Extra Mile, and then more funding for Shoreline East. An act concerning workforce development and working conditions in the state. This may cost your towns due to the extension of the portal-to-portal workers' compensation coverage. Let's see. Also, this requires towns to continue employment of contractor workers for 90 days after the termination of a contract. It does allow municipalities that don't participate in CMERS or CMERS to create a deferred retirement option for employees. And also does create a grant program for junior firefighter programs run by volunteer fire departments. This is the rapid response for invasive species. This was a glimmer of good news because it is important, as Margot would tell you, to respond quickly when an invasive species is found, especially in our lakes and rivers. And then the riparian areas, this one's really general. It really didn't set up any fixed buffer from waterways to protect ecology or inland wetlands and watercourses. But it's a start in terms of making sure that our inland and wetland commissioners are trained and aware of the importance of that. Now, these are the bills to watch for next year. There are several that we expect, CCM and cost expect to come back next year, many related to housing. One of the most concerning is the one that was put forth that would remove really a town's ability to prescribe certain dimensions, lot sizes, setback requirements for housing served by public water and public sewer. And then the Yes in God's Backyard version, accessory dwelling units, I'm looking for it. Oh, and also the Golden Girls bill. So there are several in here. And again, we'll send this out. You can take a look if you'd like. These also were reported by CCM and cost, as I said. Others that should be of note, the concerning publication of municipal legal notices. Unfortunately, this did not get a vote. It was held back by the Senate leader, and it's not likely to reappear in 2027. If towns really push for it, maybe it would come back, but CCM doesn't have a lot of hope that that'll be seen again, which is really disappointing for you all because it can be
Yeah, I
costly.
don't think they're going to bring it.
I don't know that it will. Yeah.
I don't think CCM's going to fight it.
I'll just add one other thing that's is on the list, but Susie didn't mention. On Friday, I was in an event held by the Connecticut chapter of the American Planning Association, and we had a panel discussion with one of the co-chairs of Planning and Development, a staffer to Majority Leader Rojas, and the lobbyist that our professional organization hires. And I asked the question about the bill that would allow by right housing in industrial areas across the state. And I asked why that? And what was interesting was what the staffer to Rojas told us was that that senator approached the majority leader, said that he had some industrial land that would be great for housing, and that's why they proposed the bill. And so I just responded, well, why didn't they talk to their local planning and zoning commission and their town planner? Wouldn't that be the proper first step if you want to rezone property for a different use? I got a round of applause from the planners in the audience, and I did follow up with him, and I said he said that this would be a good time to meet with the majority leader to discuss these things because they have some downtime now, and a parallel track actually ran into Rojas on the street in New Haven, and we talked about getting coffee. So I will be following up with the majority leader on some of these ideas. It just seems silly that a state bill gets written because someone has a piece of land and that doesn't want to go through their planning and zoning.
Okay, so Sam, just a reminder to everyone, their planning and zoning have to address this prior to July 1st, correct?
Oh, that's our zoning compliance project, which
yeah, but that allows them to address
that's in commercial. So all your commercial will now have to allow for housing, and that is moving forward in a lot of our towns. So we're hopeful that with the assistance of our consultant, we'll meet that deadline. I know Eliza will probably give a little bit more of an update in a minute on that. So
okay, all right. Is that it for?
That's it.
Legislative. Okay.
Tony, quickly, if you haven't already, Sam, make sure you send that list out to us, would you please? I don't think it's the same as the one you have on the website.
Okay, yeah, Susie, if you could get that over to Vicky and we'll get that out.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna break here, go back to C 2 through 6. Ricky, you got information for us?
Yes, I actually received information also to have the project manager on the call as well. Anthony is on the call as well, Anthony Colino.
Anthony, would you please go ahead and address the question?
Anthony, you're muted.
He should be on the call. If not, I'll probably, he gave me information as well. Let me see.
Yeah, he is here. We
Can't
see
hear
him.
you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you tried speaking. We can't hear. Yeah, Anthony, we can't hear you, unfortunately.
I sent him my link. Let me resend the link to him in one moment.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, no,
Okay.
we can hear you now.
Nice.
Anthony, we can hear you.
What are the questions? Is it just how much everything is?
Yeah,
No.
the question was about design. The design phase is shown here for 1.7 million, and we had a question from one of our members as to how that was calculated.
Yeah,
and what's
so-
included in the design.
Yep. So our design costs are typically 10% of our construction costs. Reason for that being is we have to do soil borings, which is a lot of our costs. So a lot of our design costs are up front because we like to do those early in the PD phase. So we're upgrading the camera system out there because we're moving to an all digital infrastructure. Right now we're in an analog infrastructure. And as part of that, we're putting in taller poles. So these will be 75-foot tall, which would be our standard pole that we've been using throughout the state. And these will also have camera lowering devices so that the camera will not need to be maintained in a bucket truck while someone's up in the air. The camera could actually be lowered down to the ground so people could work on them on the ground. So there would be less lane closures.
So it's completely, basically a redesign of the present system that's out there.
Correct.
Thank you. Stay with us, please. Okay, Todd, does that address your concerns?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions or concerns? Okay, seeing none, then I'll recall the question, the motion and the second, and we'll vote on C3 through 6. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
One second, who's making that motion?
I
It
don't know
was
that we
already
had-
made. We
I don't
already
think we
had.
had.
I don't think we made a motion.
Yeah, so
No.
yeah,
We
please.
didn't have it? All right. I'll take a motion.
So
Dave,
moved.
second. Martha. Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, we're voting on C3 through 6. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And thank you, gentlemen from DOT for assisting us with that.
Thank you,
Anytime.
Anthony. Thank you, Ricky.
Okay, moving along, Regional Waste Authority, Janice.
Yes, good morning. We continue to work with our consultant on the study. The consultant has completed their meetings, workshops, interviews, all that information with you all, and they are now working on writing up their report. We are getting different sections of that report, and we have that to be completed by June 16th, where you will have time to review it before the June 24th presentation, the next COG meeting. At the meeting on June 24th will be when you will be voting on which option to choose. If you will be voting to not do a regional waste authority, to join another authority, or have one of our own. So that's what will be happening as a vote for the 24th.
Any questions for Janice? Okay, thanks, Janice.
Welcome.
Chair, Foundations Housing Project, Eliza.
Hi, good morning, everybody. For those of you that may not remember, this is our housing education project that we've initially funded through DOH. We are almost done with the contracted work for the grant, although we do plan to continue this project past the end of the grant. We have some awesome videos that Carly helped us produce that have been going out on social media. If anybody wants to take a look and share those about affordable housing, that would be great. And we hope that you would all encourage your planners and your planning and zoning commissions to take a look at our offerings. And after I'm done speaking, I'm going to put a link in the chat to the Shared Foundations information.
Thanks, Eliza. Any questions for her? Okay, thank you. Regional Housing Committee and Housing Growth, Megan and Eliza. Who wants to go first? Megan?
I think that I was planning on talking about that. And I know
Okay.
Megan had to hop. I'm not sure if she's here. She had to hop off for another meeting during this meeting. So
Yeah,
Megan,
she's
you
here,
are
but you
here.
can go ahead first, Eliza.
Okay. She can jump in after me if I forget anything important.
Thanks, Eliza.
So our Regional Housing Committee and Megan and the staff that work on this program are starting work for the housing growth plans that are required by all of our towns. We've done, I think last month I reported we've done existing conditions for the region, and this past month we have created existing conditions for our towns. We're packaging up presentations and information for all of our regional housing committee reps to bring to your towns to talk about that. And lastly, I'd just like to say that there are a few towns that do not have representatives on the regional housing committee, so it would really be great if you could get us some to start working on your town plans. And if you don't know if you have a rep, please contact me and I'd be happy to help.
Okay, Megan, anything?
No, Eliza covered it. That was great.
Okay,
Thanks,
she covered.
Eliza.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, ladies. Marlo, LCRLT.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Just a quick update for the Lower Connecticut River Land Trust. At the last meeting, the board approved for us to start working on a little bit of a marketing campaign for the land trust. And the primary goal is to increase awareness and understanding of the Lower Connecticut River Land Trust as a regional backbone for conservation collaboration in the Lower Connecticut River Valley. And the secondary goals are to strengthen recognition of the connection between local land trusts and regional support systems, increase public engagement with regional conservation efforts, and support non-competitive fundraising for the land trust mission, and to build a shared identity around conservation in the Lower River Valley. So we'll be working with this on Carly, and so if you see posts, social media posts and things coming out across your emails concerning this, just wanted to let you know about that. So
Okay.
that's for that.
Any questions? Moving on then, Margot, aquatic invasive update.
Yep, I just want to let you know we're putting the boat in this week, so you'll be seeing us out there in the coves along the river. And let's see, for the hydrilla project, the Army Corps has been out doing invasive, not invasive species, endangered species surveys for permitting purposes and things. So I know that they've been out there and you've probably seen them. But this month and the next few weeks, I'll be doing a lot of dye studies, and then some herbicide work will begin in July. The schedule for them is up on their website, which is easily accessed from the RiverCOG website. And if anybody has any questions or concerns, please contact me and I'll help you out with those. And let's see. I think that's it.
Thank you. Any questions from Margaret? Thank you, Marwa. Connecticut River Gateway Commission, Susie.
So Sam, I don't know if you want to jump in and give a quick overview of where we are, or do you want me to?
Oh, why don't you just
dive in? Okay, so we've talked to the Connecticut River Gateway leadership, the chair and the vice chair, and let them know of the board's decision not to continue a contract. We have put together an addendum through the end of this fiscal year to provide some services
To
to
the end of the calendar year.
the calendar. Well, the addendums through this contract, which will end at the end of the fiscal year, and then we'll create a new contract that'll last through December to provide transition assistance to them. And it provides a timeline to be sure that we're meeting certain goals and able to transition them to a new host and a new administrative staff. So that's where we are.
Thanks, Susie. Any questions for Susie or Sam? Okay. Sam, you got any announcements?
Oh, no, Susie, just a quick update on the economic development support project.
Just yeah, quick update is that several towns have really been using their hours with the our on-call economic development support person, and it's been going very well in those towns. Next month, I will be coming to you to discuss how we might rejigger the allocation of hours, just in case there are towns that are using a lot and there are towns that aren't using any. So I'll come up with some options. And that's it for now. But the towns that are using the services are really moving forward with various projects, which seems great.
So we allocated the hours. Do you want to get the hours out to the municipalities, or how do you want to work this?
They already have 12 hours. They all know they have 12 hours to spend with the on-call economic development services professional. And if some of them go over, we just need to determine how to equitably allocate hours. So I'll come up with a presentation and share something next month to provide some options.
And how long do they have to use the hours?
Through December.
Through December. Okay. Yeah, put something together and we'll get it out to everyone, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Sam, do you have any announcements?
Yeah, first of all, I'll give the financial report. As of April 30th, the council had completed 10 months or 80% of the fiscal year, and overall spending is within the parameters of the adopted $3.1 million budget. Salaries, we're probably going to run right up to our salary line item this year due to new hires and also the payout of accrued vacation time when Paula left us. Our audit expense came in at 138% of budget because of the additional time for our audit, and that's why we added some more money to that item in the draft budget. Postage and printing are actually coming in low, and we've had some repair and maintenance costs as we've been dealing with some termites have been found and treated, although I think that cost is going to be reimbursed by our landlord. But overall, our budget, we are on track. As of April 30th, our Liberty Bank account, checking account balance was $110,450.89. And our staff account was at $1,553,619.40. Yeah, overall, we are on target.
Thank you, Sam. Any questions for Sam?
And the only other thing that I'll just report is just a reminder for the 15 towns who are part of the Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan update. We'll be reconvening those 15 towns at 11:15 with Margot, and I think our consultant Dewberry will be joining us. Correct, Margot?
Yes, and actually David Murphy from Resilient Land and Water will be running the meeting. And if you're not able to be there, if you're one of the 15 towns, please have a representative there, as participation is very important to getting it through FEMA.
And that meeting will be recorded. So we will be able to circulate that recording as well. So we hope to see many of you in 20 minutes.
Okay. Do you have anything further to add, Sam? I have nothing.
weekly email.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Vicky has one addition. Yeah.
Real quick, so we have created we're trying to decrease the amount of communication that's coming into your inbox from us. So we have created a weekly CEO brief that will be coming on Thursday afternoons to your inbox. The first one will start this week. This does not mean you will only get one email from us, but the goal is one email from us. So yeah, that's just and I would love feedback on after you've received a couple, how that's working, and if you have any suggestions, we're willing to make it better.
And that email will give you a digest of upcoming meetings for the upcoming week, and poll questions that are being posed by members and other things, just to sort of consolidate everything in one communication, as opposed to them coming at you at random times. And Thursday afternoon is what we decided, because Fridays and Monday mornings seem to be not the best times to be ambushed by email.
Also, just to remind you that the link for the Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan meeting is the same link that you're on now. So if you just stayed on it, you'd be there.
Right. And I think that's
okay. Is that it?
Yes.
Thank you very much. All right. With that, does anyone have anything for the good of the council? Okay, taking a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Everyone have a good day, and see many of you back soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Anthony?
Yeah.
A quick